Gnosticism is a religious and philosophical movement that emerged in the 1st century CE and was present in various regions of the Mediterranean world, particularly in Egypt and Syria. One of the most distinctive features of Gnosticism is its dualistic worldview, which divides reality into two opposing forces, the spiritual world of light and the material world of darkness. According to Gnostic cosmology, the spiritual world of light is the realm of the divine and the perfect. It is characterized by harmony, wisdom, and transcendence. On the other hand, the material world of darkness is seen as the realm of imperfection, ignorance, and suffering. The material world is perceived as a creation of a lesser god, known as the Demiurge, who is seen as a flawed and limited being. The Gnostic understanding of the material world as an imperfect and flawed realm led to a negative assessment of the physical body and the material world. Gnostics often saw the body as a prison which trapped the soul in the material realm. This led to a rejection of material pleasures and a focus on the pursuit of spiritual knowledge and enlightenment. Gnosticism was a diverse movement, and different Gnostic groups had their own unique beliefs and practices. Some Gnostic groups were more mystical, while others were more philosophical. Despite this diversity, Gnosticism had a significant impact on the development of Christian theology and spirituality, particularly in the early Christian era. Another fundamental aspect of Gnosticism is the emphasis on secret knowledge, or Gnosis, as the key to salvation. Gnostics believed that the acquisition of this knowledge could help individuals transcend the limitations of the material world and achieve a higher level of spiritual awareness. The Gnostic understanding of knowledge was not merely an intellectual or theoretical understanding, but a direct, experiential knowledge of the divine. This knowledge was not accessible to everyone, but only to a select few who had been initiated into the mysteries of the universe. According to Gnostic texts, this secret knowledge had been passed down through a chain of initiates from the divine realm to human beings. The figure of the Gnostic Redeemer played a significant role in the transmission of this knowledge. It was believed that this divine being had come to earth to provide humanity with a means to achieve salvation and enlightenment. The nature of this secret knowledge varied among different Gnostic groups. Some believed that it was a mystical knowledge of the divine, while others emphasized a more philosophical understanding of reality. Some Gnostics saw the material world as an illusion to be transcended, while others believed that it was necessary to confront and engage with the material world to achieve enlightenment. The importance of secret knowledge in Gnosticism is reflected in the various Gnostic texts that have been discovered, such as the Nag Hammadi library. These texts provide a glimpse into the diversity of Gnostic beliefs and practices and shed light on the Gnostic understanding of the nature of reality and the pursuit of salvation. Despite its emphasis on secret knowledge, Gnosticism was not an elitist movement. Gnostics believed that anyone could achieve salvation and enlightenment, provided that they had the proper spiritual disposition and were willing to undertake the necessary practices. Gnostics saw themselves as spiritual warriors engaged in a battle against the forces of darkness, striving to achieve spiritual liberation and union with the divine. Another central aspect of Gnosticism is its negative assessment of the material world and the physical body. Gnostics believed that the material world was created by a flawed and limited being, known as the Demiurge, who was separate from the true divine realm. As a result, the material world was seen as an imperfect and flawed realm, characterized by suffering, ignorance, and death. The Gnostic view of the physical body was similarly negative. Gnostics believed that the physical body was a prison, which trapped the soul in the material realm. They saw the body as a source of temptation, desire, and suffering that hindered the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment. To overcome the limitations of the material world and the physical body, Gnostics emphasized asceticism, the practice of self-denial and self-discipline. Asceticism involved various practices such as fasting, celibacy, and renunciation of material possessions. These practices were meant to purify the body and the soul and prepare them for the attainment of spiritual knowledge and enlightenment. The negative assessment of the material world and the physical body in Gnosticism has led some scholars to describe it as a dualistic or even nihilistic movement. However, Gnostics did not reject the material world and the physical body outright. Rather, they sought to transcend them and achieve a higher level of spiritual awareness. The Gnostic emphasis on the negative aspects of the material world and the physical body has had a profound impact on the development of Christian theology and spirituality. Many early Christian writers, such as Tertullian and Augustine, were critical of Gnosticism's negative view of the physical body and the material world. They argued that the material world was created by God and was good, and that the physical body was an essential part of human identity and redemption. A notable feature of Gnosticism is its syncretic nature, which involves the blending of various religious and philosophical traditions. Gnostics drew on elements from Judaism, Christianity, Platonism, and other ancient philosophical schools to create a unique worldview and set of practices. One of the most significant influences on Gnosticism was Jewish mysticism, particularly the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah provided Gnostics with a framework for understanding the divine realm and the creation of the material world. Gnostics also drew on Jewish apocalyptic literature, such as the Book of Enoch, which provided them with a vision of the end of the world and the role of divine beings in the salvation of humanity. Gnostics also drew heavily on Christian scripture and theology, particularly the Gospel of John and Pauline theology. The Gospel of John was particularly influential in shaping the Gnostic understanding of the Redeemer. Pauline theology provided Gnostics with a framework for understanding the nature of sin, redemption, and the role of faith in achieving salvation. In addition to Jewish and Christian influences, Gnostics drew on various philosophical schools such as Platonism, Stoicism, and Neoplatonism. These schools provided Gnostics with a language for articulating their understanding of the divine realm and the material world. For example, the Platonic concept of the forms or ideas provided Gnostics with a way of understanding the relationship between the divine realm and the material world. The syncretic nature of Gnosticism has made it a challenging movement to define and understand. Gnostics drew on diverse sources to create a unique worldview and set of practices which varied among different Gnostic groups. However, despite this diversity, there are certain common themes that are present in most Gnostic traditions, such as the emphasis on secret knowledge and the negative assessment of the material world. The syncretic nature of Gnosticism reflects the movement's openness to various religious and philosophical traditions. Gnostics drew on diverse sources to create a unique worldview and set of practices, which have had a significant impact on the development of Western spirituality and philosophy. The final key of Gnosticism is its emphasis on the individual's direct experience of the divine. Gnostics believed that salvation and enlightenment could only be achieved through direct knowledge and experience of the divine realm. They emphasized the importance of personal revelation and mystical experience, which were often facilitated through meditation, prayer, and other spiritual practices. This focus on individual experience and direct knowledge of the divine challenged the authority of traditional religious institutions, such as the Church, and paved the way for the development of various mystical and esoteric traditions in Western spirituality. In conclusion, the emphasis on individual experience and direct knowledge of the divine is a central aspect of Gnosticism. This focus on personal revelation and mystical experience challenged traditional religious institutions and has had a profound impact on the development of Western spirituality. The question, although, remains: how can we cultivate this direct experience of the divine in our own lives, and what can we learn from the Gnostic emphasis on personal revelation? Please write your thoughts down on the comments below. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing for much more content like this to come. Thank you for watching. Until next time.